What's going on, everybody? Rez here with a new episode of the Rez TKF Podcast, and today I got new guest Vance Latta up in the building. What's up, my man? How you doing today, Vance?
What up, Rez?
What up, man?
How you doing, Rez?
What's going on, Vance? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Vance, can I get a motherfucking let's go for the audience, please?
Oh, you want a let's go?
Yeah, one final let's go. I know you said only one more on the show, but can we get one more special one for the audience today?
Oh, you want a let's go?
Yeah.
Oh, you want a let's go?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you want a let's go?
I took my Vance. Let's go! Hey, what's up, man? Do tell. When did you get the call that you were going to be on 2.5?
I mean, I know I was a late addition to the cast because they had a pretty much finalized cast. I was going to be doing production. Jon was very gung-ho, very adamant that he wanted me to be a contestant, because I would talk to him and we'd be, you know, like talking like about 2.5 and like, yo, you excited, whatever. And he'd be like, you got to be on it, because if you're not on it, they're going to put me with a bunch of gay people.
Fucking Jon. That sounds like Jon.
And I was like, well, you know, it might be weird. It might be weird for me to go from like contestant to producer to back to contestant. Like, I wasn't sure, you know, the rules and everything about the game were still not determined. So it may have felt rigged if I was a contestant, you know, back when me and Jon were first talking about it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it started getting developed a little more, started turning into like a team-based thing. Then that kind of made it feel like, okay, it might not be rigged because there's not a single winner.
Yeah.
Like, I won't just, you know, there won't be so much of a bias for me or anything.
It's a group effort and not an individual competition, like cutthroat ones.
Yeah. And even if there is a bias, it wouldn't necessarily only impact me. You know, it would help the whole team. I was asked, one of the contestants dropped, and then I was asked to be like, you know, fill the last slot. And I said, yeah, of course, you know, whatever I can do for the show, I'm gonna do. Whatever the best role for me is, I'll do it. So yeah, that's how, you know, that's when I first found out, basically.
So how did you mentally prepare and physically prepare for this challenge of 2.5? How did you prep for this?
All I did to prep was, I was just in the gym every day from the moment I found out. So like a solid, I don't know, two or 2.5 months of working out every single day, mostly lifting weights. I was trying to, you know, kind of lean out a little bit. And at the same time, like, me and Jon were kind of having this friendly competition of trying to weigh the same at the time that we get there. And he was like, he started off at like 150 something. I started off maybe at 210, something like that. And the goal was for us both to be 190 pounds by the time we got there. So me and him were going hard, working out. He was bulking heavily.
My muscles are fucking glowing listening to you, bitch. Yap, yap, yap.
Yeah, I was kind of just leaning out a little bit, getting a little more
muscle. He was lifting women in front of clubs and stuff.
Yeah, he was lifting Creature. That's Creature.
Oh yeah, actually. That was Creature. Okay, yeah, I remember that was revealed. Yeah, so you guys kept in contact quite a bit. I remember you said on 2.5 that you and Jon talked the most. So you guys really kept in contact and really kind of prepped for this, double dragon style.
Yeah, me and Jon were really good friends coming into it, and would talk a few times a week. You know, coming up with pre-game strategies and whatever. Like, he's an outdoors dude. I am to some extent. Like, I've been camping, I know how to start a fire, I can do all that shit, but I've never like lived outside for more than a day or two. I didn't do any prep for that. I figured for me, being outside is like, that was the thing that was least intimidating to me. For me, the challenge was, okay, I'm gonna be a fish again. There's more pressure to entertain this time again. And that, to me, that's my challenge. How can I be entertaining? What can I do to elevate the show? Not so much, how am I gonna survive? I knew I'd survive. But I figured I just need to have fun. I need to be as relaxed as possible. Not really think about, I have to entertain. Just more like, the more relaxed I am, the more fun I'm having, the more I can do that. I think while I was out there, I was relaxed and everything like that, but it took me quite a while to get comfortable because I was also late to the show.
Yeah, because you had a gig, right? You had a music gig going on?
Yeah, so when I got there, I was still learning what the hell everybody else was doing. And I think it took me longer than it should have to get comfortable and then finally be able to do things that I thought were worthwhile. And I kind of also realized in like the process of that, I kind of know, like I kind of figured my role, and instead of like trying to do something that's unnatural to me and being like, I have to entertain, just kind of stick to what I'm good at, which is, you know, letting the loud, more boisterous people do their thing, and then chime in when I feel like I have something that's actually like worthwhile to contribute. And, you know, have moments where I shine, but I'm not like a content driver when it comes to like, you know, starting an argument or doing anything like that. But have moments, have gems here and there, have moments of greatness. I'm not saying that I did anything great, but like, you know what I mean? You can prepare as much as you want, but you're gonna go in there and you're gonna have to improvise everything.
Yeah, especially this time because everything was different for y'all. Y'all were outside, you were in a handmade town, the town of Shitty this time. You had NPCs as well as freeloaders. Even if you made a game plan, I'm sure, as you said, you would have had a couple wrenches thrown in the chains.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I didn't do much prep work other than I was just lifting weights, I'd say. And the challenge of how can I be entertaining kind of, I knew it was gonna be a challenge no matter what. And as much prep as I did, you get thrown in there and you can't really prepare.
Did it kind of throw you back into that season 1 vibe?
A little bit. So for season 1, I was not worried about entertaining people. I was worried about winning overall. And then throughout the season, I realized, okay, what can I do? Like, I'm going to have to win over the audience. What can I do? To do that, I would have to be more vocal in a group, do more entertaining kind of outlandish things. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm just not I'm not a big, loud personality, you know? Like, my sense of humor, like, my delivery of my humor's unlike anybody else's that's in the show, like at least on the cast.
Do you feel that you come out of your show more when you have a character or a role to play that you're given, like a little bit more directed?
Yeah, for sure. Like direction is very helpful for me, and like I can do things on my own, but it's not going to be super flashy. And if I'm coming up with something on my own, it's like it's almost like I need to make sure this is perfect before I actually do it.
You said you wanted to go on 2.5 and play to your strengths. I think that you were playing to Vance Latta. You weren't being like Vance Pill. You weren't being Let's Go Fishtank Season 1 guy. You showed a lot of growth. You seemed like you were really showing your own like persona with this season.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's pretty spot on. I did kind of, you know, want to go. It wasn't like I went in there thinking I'm not gonna, you know, do anything crazy. It was just more like I got into there and kind of realized that this is who I am. And, you know, I don't necessarily need to hype myself up like I was in season 1 or, you know, exactly like playing a character or anything like that. And not that me saying Let's Go as a character or anything like that, but it's just like, I'm not in real life. If I do something cool, I don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I just felt like I was just relaxed and trying to just be myself and interact how maybe I normally would. I think like halfway through I realized like that should be my goal, is to just like be who I am.
Did you watch your past clips or maybe some past episodes?
Yeah.
Did you watch yourself on past seasons, whether it be 1 or 2, and reflect on seeing yourself? Was there any changes you wanted to make about how you presented yourself on camera or on Fishtank?
Yeah, I of course I've watched clips and I have admittedly like dwelled on everything I've done wrong.
What do you feel like you did wrong?
I think just like being passive in season 1 and kind of being way too focused on this is how I win. Like I thought this is how I'm gonna win, instead of this is how this show is and this is how I'm actually supposed to win. Like I went into it thinking like what was in my mind was correct, instead of like how should I adapt to what the show actually is, because this is not Survivor, this is not Big Brother, this is Fishtank.
You said on Twitter that you got injured, which I'm so sorry that happened, man. How did you fracture your ribs on the show? What happened? Was it Mike the Goblin?
I don't know for sure, but I could feel something in my side before the fight. So I don't know I don't really know like how it started, but I don't think that helped at all.
Those vampires are ruthless, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. And I figured it was because every morning I'd wake up and I would feel like an 80-year-old man. I'd feel rickety and stiff and whatever because I was sleeping on basically just wood the whole time.
You were sleeping
on
Minecraft beds.
Yeah, like there was a mattress, if you want to call it that, but it was about this thick, and you know, I'm not a light person, so the first night, it's already sunken into the wood, so I'm just sleeping on wood the whole time. So what I think happened was, right before the cell, we were doing a sneaking mission. I think cause I was crawling, you know, stomach first on the ground. I think maybe I made the injury a little worse during that, and then throughout the cell, I'm feeling this pain. And I think it's like, oh shit, I'm having like some organ failure or something like that.
The cell on the tower, right? Yeah, you said you felt sick there.
I was very sick. I was very sick. And then the morning after the challenge started, I was having like pains. And I figured like, oh shit, I'm like kind of fucked up, definitely dehydrated. That was one of the reasons I quit the challenge. You know, I started feeling good throughout the day, but then shit would happen and I'd be like, oh, why did that hurt? And I think was the boxing match after? The boxing match was the second night of the challenge. So I think that boxing match kind of maybe exasperated the injury a little bit more. Oh, yeah. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, like there's like a pain, but I didn't think much of it. And I kept doing what I would normally do, which was a bad idea. I really started feeling it after I got home. So I think it just kind of, I don't know if it was getting worse and worse and worse, or if it was just like I'd never like broken a bone before, at least as far as my knowledge. So I don't know if it gets worse before it gets better. Or anything like that.
I remember you said there was one morning you were looking at the camera, the director cam, and you were like, man, my spine's contracted at least 6 inches. When I first started sleeping in this bed, there wasn't enough room, and now there's too much room, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was legit. I thought that was just a joke.
That is true. I legitimately have shrunk like an inch or two. And I used to be like taller than my brother and my dad. Now I'm shorter than them. Like, I think with this season, it's all outside. There's not much downtime. You're standing a lot.
Yeah.
You're standing a lot, and walking around a lot. I think my spine literally just compressed. The elements affect you in ways that you would not expect. I did not expect it to shrink.
You didn't expect what?
To shrink.
Oh yeah, god damn. I mean, because you're out there in the heat and the humidity. No one prepared you for this. You need a spell, one of Xavier's spells to reverse the effect. You were late to the party a little bit by just a couple days because you had a gig going on before, right? You had a music gig?
I did, yeah.
So please tell me, was that planned already, or was that just kind of like spontaneous, like, I can't miss this?
Yeah, for 2.5, it got delayed.
Yeah.
Like the initial launch date got delayed.
Yeah.
For good reason. It should have been, you know, they wanted to make sure everything was good and perfect. I think it worked out better that way.
Yeah.
But when it got rescheduled, because I had already kind of set up my stuff based around that, when it got rescheduled, the launch date lined up exactly with a gig I had lined up, which was actually a kind of a big one for me. This band, Vision Video, was headlining, and they're somewhat of a big deal. They're like a national touring act. The singer is like TikTok famous, or he's pretty big on other platforms. But I knew like I definitely shouldn't miss that. And if in the music industry, if you cancel shows, you kind of get labeled as a show canceler, like you're unreliable. So I knew like there's no way I could, you know, miss that.
Yeah.
And I told the crew like I probably can't do that, and they were like, just show up whenever you can. I was like, okay, cool. Like that'll work out for me. So I was able to do the gig and then still do the season. So I think it all worked out. Being a little bit late sucked. Like I felt like I had to do a lot of catching up. Mm-hmm. But I think overall it wasn't too much of a detriment. It worked out well. And the gig was fantastic. It was really, really fucking good.
How has the reception been on your album? His lovely album, Love in Its Purest Form. Check it out on iTunes, Spotify, and Bandcamp. You'll see the links below.
It's been very positive. I honestly was not expecting the reception to be so positive. It's been out for like half a year now.
Mm-hmm. Since November.
Yeah. Pretty much like blew my expectations away for how much people liked it. And I'm glad, because I spent so much time on it and I was still not satisfied with it when I released it.
Why were you not satisfied with it?
I wanted better quality of production. I wanted more clear vocals, I wanted real drums. I wanted real bass. I had some real bass. Like I just wanted more acoustic instruments, and I wanted to have it be produced a little better. But I also was tinkering way too much, and it was just kind of, I was overthinking it way too much. And I just kind of decided I just got to put it out there, because if I don't do it now, it's not going to be out for another 2 years. and now is the time. Like, just stop putting it off, release it. So I did, and it's been very, very positive. I'm also working on another project with another band, I should say. It's not even, it's a different musical identity that I'm working on.
Completely different genre?
It's it's not so much synth pop kind of stuff. It's more guitar based rock, alternative rock, stuff like that.
Brian actually said that it's more fun being production, and you said that on our last interview as well. Do you still feel that way?
It was a weird adjustment. It was a weird adjustment going from like, okay, I'm in the background here, I'm just capturing what's going on. Going back to now I have to be what's going on was difficult.
You have to be the content, not just watch it manifest.
Yeah. That was actually very difficult to switch, but it wasn't like, I shouldn't say very difficult. It was just strange. It was strange.
Yeah. But because this is the first time you encountered that switch.
Yeah. But I'm glad I did it at the same time because I figured I would be production again. I'd have more opportunities to have production roles. But I kind of thought this was my last time that I can be a contestant. So I wanted to do it one last time, one last hurrah, see what I can do.
Hell yeah.
Maybe prove myself a little bit. And yeah, I'm glad I did it. And honestly, you can credit Jon for me even doing it in the first place.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Business Jack 2020. What was that, 2022? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel like with them integrating 2.5 outdoors that it's probably changed the game a little bit for being a fish?
That's a good question. I think in general, it's more fun to be production. However, this time, being a fish was more fun because I got to hang out with my friends. I got to hang out with Letty, Jon, Ty, and I got to know Jimmy and Taylor a little more. And, you know, I got to be outside. I had less pressure to like run the show, and I could just kind of do what I wanted. So I'd say it was more fun just for like a pure hanging out with my friends aspect. And playing the game itself. The game itself was way, way more fun this time. Mm-hmm. Killing vampires and shit and sneaking missions and all that.
How did you feel about 2.5 being so heavily integrated with roleplay this time?
That was interesting to me. I know nothing about like LARPing video games, anything like that. I was told like it's a mix between Oblivion and Left 4 Dead, and I was like, sure, but I had no idea what that really meant. But I also got the concept of, okay, it's like Renaissance Fair type of shit. Like I get that. The LARPing stuff, I think that was more for the NPCs. Like, I don't think there was too much pressure for the contestants to actually like play a role or anything. It's just like we were kind of ourselves, but playing into what the NPCs were doing. But I like that aspect of it. I think it provided for a lot of funny moments. You know, you can kind of hide behind a character a little bit when somebody else is doing a character. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I hope they keep doing it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of room to like switch up. Like, even if they do another 0.5, which I think they will, if it's not like vampires or anything like that, there's just so much possibility to like create a world and like have these kind of characters within this world. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, we talked about like the possibilities of like a Fallout world. Last time you and I spoke, we talked about a science fiction world.
Those were your ideas. Those are good ideas.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Oh, and you know what was crazy? We talked about the POV cams being implemented as well. So, yeah, and they actually were. As someone who was a fish, and you were production for season 2, so y'all didn't have the POV cams but that one time. Yeah. How do you feel the POV cams did this time, and how do you feel they attributed to the show being a fish that actually wore one of them? I
think overall the POV cams are really fun. They're a cool aspect. When I had mine on, I felt more pressure. I didn't necessarily like having mine on me, but I liked that other people had them, you know what I mean? And that's just more of a personal thing for me. Like, when I had it on, I was like, fuck, now I really gotta lock in here. It was just a little more pressure, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I don't know how well it benefited me, but I think for other people, it definitely benefited them. And I really liked how the cameramen would come in, and there would be like how on season 2, if I'm coming up with the camera, that was live streamed this time. That was I think that added a lot. I think that made it so a lot of contestants, if there was something that like maybe wouldn't get caught through all the kind of cluttered audio of the the like security cameras or anything. You know, things that would get lost before were not getting lost this time, which that added so much. I felt like I was able to kind of do more when somebody was filming me close up, because I knew my voice doesn't travel very far. So I think a lot of things I said were picked up more. I appreciated that. I think Letty brought this up actually during the season, but whoever's operating the camera, it brings a different dynamic to what's going on. Like we had Eunice filming sometimes, and maybe I could sense like maybe Letty or Taylor or somebody like acting differently because Eunice is filming, rather than like if Luca was filming, I could sense dynamic changes with who was filming and their style of, maybe I'm going to be in your face at this moment. That was kind of eye-opening to me, because all the cameramen had their own style, and people just seeing how people would act differently depending on who was filming, adding their style, is really making me think of like, okay, for the next season, how can I read the people I'm filming and base what I'm doing to help them, you know, to make them shine.
How do you feel it made people act differently based on who was filming? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Like when you said when Eunice was filming, that people would act different than when Luca was filming. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? How would they necessarily acting different?
Eunice has kind of a style, when I first started filming season 2, I would get in the face of like JC a lot because I just thought it was funny. And I think that's kind of his style. Is like, you know, when you shove a camera in someone's face, there's some pressure there, and it's like, are they going to, like, how are they going to react to that? Are they going to do something really funny, or are they going to kind of clam up and be awkward? And I thought it was interesting to see like who would clam up. I could feel myself clamming up, but I could see like Letty or somebody else like shining when it was in their face. That's something I think is going to be helpful for me, like next time, like for the next season, you know?
Because when we talked about season 2's POV camera, we talked about how it kind of acted like a selfie camera, like they were on their own Instagram reel, and it kind of livened up their energy. Do you think it kind of pepped you guys up, energized you guys a little bit more in making content?
Yeah, well, I think it was kind of a mix, which I didn't really realize before. It's like, you know, some people really want that attention on them in a certain moment, and other people might not. Yeah, like it definitely will energize some and make others kind of be more conscious of what they're doing. I don't think I realized that before. I think for season 2, everybody kind of got hyped up. Or maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention to who wasn't really shining in those moments, you know? Seeing it from a fish perspective, I think is gonna help me a lot. Like it's just very eye-opening.
It's funny because I saw a lot of the audience, mostly there was just massive positive reception on the mobile director cam. Some people were a little bit nostalgic, I think, of, you know, the fixed position cams and stuff like that, because that's what they were familiar with. They felt like people were showing out too much or trying to like not be authentic in front of the director cam, but it's like, why would you want someone to just be boring or whatever, or just to chill out the whole time? Like, I think it was a great addition.
It was definitely a great addition, and I think it also kind of helped the feeling, like it felt like a video game, right? I think those FX3 like the director camera was it was very, very essential for making it feel like a game and not like you're watching an experiment.
Who was your favorite NPC and why?
Oh man, it's probably Brian. I think Brian like really turned things around for himself. At the beginning of season 2, like when his time during season 2, he did not get good reception at all from the audience. I liked him, you know, I thought like he was a genuine like dude, but you know, off camera we would talk, he was always cool, but this time I think he really just flipped his on-screen persona. Yeah, he just nailed that character. He was always super funny. He always was quick with his like quips and everything like that. Like he always said the right thing at the right time. And yeah, he was just hilarious.
It almost felt like a different Brian though. Like for real. That's how good it was, you know? Yeah.
And maybe like you might be able to chalk that up to him playing a character, but to me, I think there was a lot of him in that too as well. Like people could see he's not a douchebag, you know, like he's just a funny, he was just a funny, like, cool dude.
Hell yeah.
And I loved that character.
Shout out Brian.
Yeah, shout out. I'm trying to think of other characters, of the other, like, NPCs. The Trader was really funny. I liked him a lot. The Goblin was awesome.
Yeah, gotta love the Goblin. His late night visits really hyped you guys up. Soda Man, come on.
Oh yeah, Soda Man. I mean, all of them. Look, if I mention one, I have to mention them all.
Yeah, Soda Man, the blacksmith and his wife.
Yeah, exactly. Blacksmith and his wife, my cousin and cousin's wife, they're awesome. Soda Man is so, I love his like sass.
Oh yeah.
He's great.
He seems like a guy who plays video games and talks mad shit while he's just murking you.
Yeah, and I don't know how much he knew about the show beforehand or about Sam or anybody beforehand, but if he didn't know much, he adapted very, very well. And he got it. Like, he fucking got it.
Yeah, he said he wrote most of the season 2.5.
Yeah, that's amazing. He did a great job.
He said he based it off of an actual D&D campaign because he does that on the rig.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So there was also
Dunye, the town crier.
Of course, perfect role for him. The greaser. I don't know. Like, I didn't interact with the greaser that much, but every time I did, it was really funny. Like, he plays that role well, and he's also just like, that's just kind of how he is. That dude, I met him after season 2 wrapped because he was renovating. He was cleaning up the house. Like, he wasn't like, I don't know like who he knew or anything like that. I don't think he knew anything about the show, but he was there to clean up the house after it wrapped. And I kind of, got to know him a little bit during that. And then I saw he was back as a production role. I was like, oh shit, that's that dude. But he was really funny during like the Taylor funeral. I think he was a little drunk that day. Yeah, they were all really good.
Yeah, the NPCs were amazing, man. It was but the only thing is like, gosh, having to stand out in that heat.
A lot of people tell me that like most of their job is just standing out in the blazing sun waiting for us to interact with them. And I should also say Xavier, but I don't think he was an NPC. I think that's more than calling him an NPC is like an insult to what he did. He's a main character.
Oh yeah. At first he called himself an NPC. I have to say, I am a super fan of Xavier Ravenblood.
See, they need to know of my radiance and my glory, and therefore I'd be happy to make your acquaintance this fine eve, and speak about how wonderful I am.
I do appreciate that, Master, as you are. You are amazing. You are bountiful, and your power knows no bounds, as you have infinite wisdom, and I am honored to be the one to talk to you. And I do appreciate the magical gifts of this mask and the epic Yamato badass sword you've given me. I will make great use of it, vanquishing all of your lightweight for you, Master.
Ravenblood, man, I fucking love the character. He is so quick-witted with his replies and answers in any setting they put him in, even in BitchTank.
I'm always, like, anytime he was around, I was just like, okay, how is he gonna spin his way out of this one? Like, how is he gonna use his words to... Like, he's always had a perfect, witty, clever comeback, and half the time, whoever he was talking to wouldn't even realize that they were being insulted. Amazing.
Oh yeah, all his references too. Like, that guy is such an amazing character. I really hope that he's always in Fishtank from now on. Oh man, one NPC we forgot to mention: Wild Randy.
I'm Wild Randy!
Holy shit, how could we forget Wild Randy?
Wild Randy, of course. Yeah, we were hearing tales of Wild Randy through the speakers, and then he appeared.
Anytime Alex Stein shows up, you know shit's going down, man.
On season 1, Alex Stein is really good for the morale of the contestants. He brings the best out of anybody, and that has a lot to do with, like, he's a host of his own show. He's been involved in reality TV. He's just a pro at making people show themselves best.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like he did such a great job with everything. He really came alive. And also, Greg Helsing. Shout out Greg.
Yeah,
man.
For sure. I wouldn't call him an NPC either. He had a real big role. Greg is the best. He filled in for me the first 2 days when I couldn't be there. Yeah, everyone loves Greg. There's nothing, you can't say anything bad about that dude.
He went fucking ham this season, bro. He didn't give no fucks. He was just rowdy as shit this season, man, and I loved every bit of it.
And that's kind of, I can tell he really likes, D&D, role-playing, stuff like that, this was definitely his environment.
Oh yeah, he thrived in that, absolutely. Was it nice seeing TJ again, or should I say DJ?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to be there. So like, I was talking to Taylor like maybe a week or two before I left, and I was like, "Are you gonna be on?" And she's like, "No, I don't think so," or anything like that. And then I get there and she's there, and then I'm like, "Oh, where's TJ?" She's like, "Oh, he's not coming," and then he shows up too.
That little gaslighter.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it was great to see them. They're great people. They're really cool people, fun to be around. I didn't expect to see TJ. He was really funny in that kind of wolf role.
Oh, he brought out his animalistic side.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to be as good at the role playing as he was. He was really good.
In season 2, he talked about a lot of like authors and stuff like that. So I was like, this guy is really in his element right now, being all poetic. And Master Xavier wouldn't like that.
No, he was great. I think also he, similar to me, like, you know, there was less pressure for him to win, and he wasn't being pushed in the same ways. I think he was able to shine and like kind of show himself. Mm-hmm. And I think people, if they didn't like him before, if they were kind of hesitant about him before, I think he proved a lot of people wrong.
Him and Brian, because even when I talked to Brian, I asked him the same thing I asked you. I was like, did you watch your past videos or your past time on the show and reflect on that? Because they're all, really everybody, including yourself, I mean, everybody's a lot more reserved. You know, because I think it's one of those when you see yourself on camera, you really, like, we want to give our best energy and we want to show out a lot. But then we realize, you know, Brian said it as well, you know, and I know you've said it before, not to take yourself too seriously. I think that those were times everybody in 2.5 got a good redemption.
For sure. Yeah, that environment, I think, helped everybody shine in a new way, in a more positive way. It was just a very fun, positive season where it was like, there's not a ton of pressure for you to win or do anything crazy. Just be yourself, relax, have fun. You're camping and you're killing vampires. Like, it's lighthearted.
Yeah.
The environment made everybody come out in a more positive light, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. After 2.5, it was so fucking fun. It was such a fun season to watch. And, you know, you guys being out in the bonfires in the middle of the night whenever the day wrapped up, just talking and chilling. And, like, even when it rained out there, man, it was just really tranquil. Ty even said it would be really difficult to go back to just being straight up indoors.
Oh, yeah. Especially for him, like, doing 2 indoor seasons and then doing an outdoor season. Like, he really thrived in the outdoor environment.
He lived up to his gunslinging reputation, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, for him especially, that I think it'll be, if he's invited back, which I'm imagining he will be, it might be a little more difficult for him next time.
Yeah, Ty and his one-liners, man, he had y'all laughing a lot.
Oh, for sure. Ty is so funny. Ty, like, kept me laughing out there constantly. Ty is, like, inspirational for me. Like, I'm not sure how deep into comedy I want to go. I don't think I'd ever do stand-up or anything like that. But if I was going to go that route, I want to be like Ty. You know, he's just he's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
People like him around him.
Taylor, I think TTS and sometimes chat would be giving her so much unnecessary shit for nothing, but she really showed her thick skin and perseverance through that. And every single decision she made within 2.5 was at a benefit to her team, and also she sacrificed herself more than once for her team.
Definitely. I think Taylor's very underrated. I know she's not super popular. I think she had the most hate this season, as far as I can tell. Had a lot of hate last time. Still agreed to come back knowing she'd get hate. Received the hate, never complained, was always, you know, still in the game, wanted to win. Like, she's a determined competitor, a great teammate. You know, there's a difference between seeing her on screen when there's a camera in her face and getting to know her personally. Mm-hmm. I got to know her personally, and I like Taylor a lot. I don't think she deserves the hate she gets. You know,
no,
I mean, we all
so
get
unnecessary.
Hate. Yeah, we all get hate. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to defend Taylor and say that she is a great, great teammate. If you were in the game with her, you want her to be on your side. And you know, from a viewer perspective, it's like, okay, she's not giving you the content you want. But from a contestant perspective, there's a reason why it seems like she kind of is always on a winning side. You know what I mean? Yeah, she has your back, you know, and she doesn't necessarily care.
She knows the game she's playing.
Yeah. She has your back as a teammate, and she doesn't necessarily care if she's looking back to the audience. And so it's like, yeah, it's different being a contestant and being her teammate than it is watching her.
Real quick, so you wouldn't wear the wolf suit?
No.
Okay, still a no. All right, I tried. Sorry.
Not for me. I respect TJ for doing it. I think that's putting yourself out there a lot. But he did something, embarrassing for the show that I would not have done. So props to him. And Mike did that too, and I meant Mike doing the wolf thing also.
Oh, the gay wolf. Yeah.
Just sacrificing whatever to make the show good. I respect that.
Dude, Mike, he was an amazing part of production.
He's excellent. Yeah, no, I did not know who he was until I showed up and landed, and he was kind of the one giving me the rundown on like what's been happening and tips on what I should do, and like, here's how the game works and everything like that. And quickly, like we quickly clicked. That's a hard sentence to say, but yeah, we quickly got along. And yeah, anytime I interacted with him, it was always a pleasure. Afterwards, it was super fun hanging with him. Every goblin interaction was fucking hilarious. Just everybody dogpiling on the goblin, like physically fucking him up. He's not easy to take down, I'll say that.
And he ran with it, man. He took all the punishment and ran with it with a smile.
Oh yeah. You could tell he had a ton of fun doing it. Yeah, he's great. A very, very welcome, great addition.
You were on season 1 with Mauro, and Mauro ends up leaving again. But this time, how did you feel about Mauro leaving the way he did?
All I heard are stories about it. I still haven't even seen like the clips from it, but it sounds, I don't know. It sounds like he was disgruntled about payment, and then he was kind of kicked off in a joking way, and
he wanted $3,000.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit at first. I thought they told him to say that, but after a while I saw that Mauro was actually serious, that he wanted $3,000 for the work he did there.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What he did. I don't hate Mauro at all. I honestly think Mauro's presence in itself is funny, in how it's like kind of every time he comes back, he somehow makes it worse in a way. Like it's just it's hilarious to me.
That alcohol, man. He gets to drinking, and sassy Mauro comes about.
He loves to drink. I don't think I ever interacted with him sober the whole time I was there. And I interacted with him, like, not much, but every single time he was definitely drunk.
That's not the first time I heard that, though.
Which is, hey, I like to drink as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're out there in the sun and shit. But at the same time, it's like, you want to, like, make content and entertainment for the people that gave you the opportunity, for sure. Want to, like, pull your weight,
For sure. Yeah. And I don't want to, I definitely don't want to get on anyone's case about making content or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I've had my own struggles with that. But I will say, he didn't deserve $3,000.
Yeah, it's a tall ask, to say the least.
Yeah, but no, Mauro is funny. Like, his presence is funny, whether people hate him or not, and whether they respect what he's done on the show. His presence in itself is funny because you get a reaction out of him. Every time.
And he can stir up some drama when he feels like it. He can definitely stir up some drama where he's inquisitive on people, especially when he's drinking. That's what sassy Mauro comes out. Airsoft Fatty this season on 2.5 was fucking awesome. He was just so much more active. He was moving around a lot. He looks good. Like, he's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, Dunye said he's lost like 100 pounds.
I believe it.
That's crazy if that's true. He's definitely lost a lot. If it's 100, that's insane. Like, props to him. He's doing a great job. And yeah, this season, this was definitely his element. He's very much kind of like Greg into the role playing kind of thing.
And Airsoft's involved.
Exactly. And I will say, like, on I know him personally. I've worked with him as production on season 2, as a fish on season 1. This time though, it was in this, when I say this, I'm saying this as a compliment because he is so good at his job, which is to push your buttons and annoy you. Anytime he was coming up to our camp, I was dreading it. I was like, oh God, here we go again. Because he would just fuck up all our shit and you know, be a menace. Yeah. And that's like, if he can make me feel annoyed, he's doing his job perfectly.
Yeah, I'm surprised to even hear you say that. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I told him that, like, dude, you are so good at your job that even me, and I know you personally, I was like, please, no. Please do not come here and fuck up our shit.
Did you see when Scott was boxing with the dude Evil Kevin?
I don't know if I was there for the fight. I think I was, but I was like talking to somebody else and that was kind of happening in the background. So
I didn't even know what they were fighting about. Because I remember Kevin was pretty much drooling, being carried away at the end of the fight. And I was like, damn, what the fuck happened? What did he say?
Anytime I talked to him, he was like fucked up on something. And was very hard to talk to. Yeah, he was odd and difficult to talk to, but not like, I don't dislike him or anything like that. It's just like, what is going on?
The biggest thing Brian said about Kevin was that he kept getting in the way of pivotal cutscenes. He was in cutscenes that he wasn't supposed to be in, and he kept putting himself in there, and they got really tired of that.
I did notice that, and I thought, I wasn't sure if that was kind of production putting him in that situation or not, but I did notice that. I did notice that he would insert himself where he kind of shouldn't have been. And I mean, I know he paid to be there. That's like a
that was
fact.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
How much did he pay to be on there? If
whatever the amount was on the website for like the fish toy. I don't know what it even is.
The website said 10,000.
That's probably what it was.
Goddamn. Yeah. Did you play Metal Gear Solid before?
Yeah, I played Snake Eater and I played a little bit of Peace Walker.
Okay. So that was your prep on the stealth.
Yeah, so I was told about, like, when Xavier was telling us about the mission, I was like, okay, thinking like, how are we gonna do this? Like, how are we not gonna get seen? Like, this is gonna be impossible. We're gonna have so many potions. And he was like, if you don't use any potions, you get more of a reward. I was like, okay, shit. So then our first attempt, I get up there, you know, we get killed and everything like that. But I see, like, during that interaction, I see how the other sharks are moving. And I see that they're walking exactly like Metal Gear Solid, you know, guards.
Real NPCs.
Yeah, exactly. And I see that they're kind of stationary, looking around for like 10 seconds or whatever, and then they move. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know it's exactly what to do. And so I just thought about Metal Gear Solid, like, all right, I need to crawl on the ground. If I'm not moving, they're not going to see me. Yeah. And I went with the killless route. I didn't want to. I could have taken people out. Like, that maybe would have been funnier, but I wanted to do it killless just because, like, yeah. I just thought it would be more, maybe more impressive to do it killless.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, you reap more rewards when you only either tranquilize or knock people out.
That was the most fun mission for me.
This is a question from a viewer of yours. What the hell happened with Susan in 2018, Vance? The people want to know what happened.
What happened with Susan was in self-defense.
Is that all you're legally obliged to say?
Yeah.
Your lawyer already got to you, huh?
Yeah. So that whole thing, so the night that we got alcohol, I think it was the 4th of July. Whenever we were all drinking around the campfire and Xavier showed up, I think Nick Caminos was there too. Whenever that all went down, the morning after, people, like, the sound effects were coming in and they were saying, basically they were saying, Vance, take advantage of her. Now's your chance. And I was just in the bunk, like, listening, like, they're, you know, they were all just coming in, take advantage of her. Vance, touch her, you know, shit like that. They were telling me to touch women. They were just saying, Vance, you need to touch women now. And then it turned into, Vance, why did you touch her? Like, Vance, you touched her. What did you do last night? Like, shit like that. And then, and then it turned into 17 women have come forward. They know what you did. And then, you know, people know where I went to school. Shit like that. They're like, oh, he did something at CWU in 2018. Yeah, it just kind of evolved from that. That's where it started. People telling me to women.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, sure. Okay. Look, I think let's just get to the bottom line. Shut the fuck up, Susan.
It's been years, get over it.
You know what? Tell her again for the Susans in the back.
Get over it. Been years.
What were your thoughts on knowing that you were going on a team with both Jon and Jimmy? Did you have any apprehensive thoughts on on them being in close proximity to each other? Did you have hopes that they would maybe end up becoming best friends?
I knew they were either going to be best friends or hate each other. They started off friends and then ended up hating each other. So I guess I was kind of right in both ways a little bit. But I knew that me and Jon would get along. I didn't think me and Jimmy would get along because I knew he didn't really like me to begin with.
How or why did you know that? Like, why didn't he like you, and how did you find that out?
Just from, people telling me stuff. And because I was production.
He kind of held a little bit of a grudge from at a certain point with all that stuff. I
don't think he could fully trust me after season 2 because I was production. I think he has, or did, this was before the season started. I know he always kind of felt like, I don't know if I can trust these people. Which is fair enough. The whole show is gaslighting. And, why would you trust? Like, I get it. But yeah, I knew he was hesitant about me from the jump. But Jon was very certain that he would help me and him out. And I didn't, I don't know the extent of their conversations before the show started. But yeah, I knew, like, if I was there, I was going to have to make sure that they didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah, too drastic.
Yeah. I was very interested in seeing how all of them would interact, how Jimmy and Letty would interact. Mostly Jimmy and Jon's interactions with everybody else. I thought Jon and Taylor would get along more. They didn't at all.
First night. I wish Jon wasn't an Andrew Tate fan because I think he's way fucking cooler than any of those douchebags. But I think he saw Taylor being such a smart, strong woman who will speak her mind. I don't think Jon was hearing that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I thought, before the show started, I thought he would respect how strong she was and stuff like that. But her strength went against his, I think, and that's probably what he didn't like.
Your thoughts on Jon and Jimmy being on the same team together and clashing and even getting to the point where they got in a bit of a boxing scuffle together?
I honestly don't even know where it started. So Jon would leave the show and come back. I know he had a leg. His leg was really fucked up. I don't fault him for, leaving the show for periods of time or not. But Jimmy really didn't like that. He didn't think it was fair. After that, Jon had this very high moral complex, I guess, where he felt a lot of power, and was like, here's how it's gonna be now. Jimmy really didn't like that because Jimmy felt being a mod. Jimmy, here's the thing, Jimmy saw himself as the leader, Jon saw himself as the leader, Letty saw herself as a leader. Like, everybody saw themselves as a leader in some way, except maybe not for Ty. But they all certainly did. And when Jon comes in and he's like, here's how it's gonna be, Jimmy really is not gonna like that, especially because he feels like, I've been cooking this whole time and getting all the firewood and all that stuff. And in reality, they lead in different ways. Jimmy is leading the camp, Jon maybe is leading the gameplay. Like, there's all sorts of things you can lead at. But yeah, I honestly cannot remember how it started, but Jimmy just had enough of it.
Yeah, Jon was reading the rules, and I remember Jimmy grabbed it and whipped it up.
And then he throws like a aerosol can at him, and it's pretty damn heated. I gotta restrain Jimmy. Flashbacks to season 2 type of shit. And then, it turns out they're gonna box.
It was at the point when they got back to Schitty, and both of them, Jon was lifting weights and Jimmy was doing something with someone, and he bumped into Jon, and then they claimed that one of them pushed the other or something like that when they were in Schitty, and that's when they got in another altercation. All y'all were holding him back. The part I did not like, when Jimmy spit on Jon twice, I just... because I could tell that he was reflecting on a lot of his past incidents. I could tell that he wanted to grow and he wanted to do better and he was trying. But when he spit on Jon twice, I was like, come on, you spit in another man's face, not just once, but twice. You're gonna fight. But what was going through your mind the whole time when you saw that they actually gloved up and were about to do this?
Yeah, you can't spit on people. You can't spit on people. I also didn't like Jon threatening to charge Jimmy with attempted murder. And
Vance, it's attempted murder.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. People like in the heat of the moment say things, you do things. I get it, but I was just like, come on, he's not you. Like, I don't know.
He's not injecting the spit inside your hole. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those, I kind of was wondering if he was like Jon knew if I fight this man, I'm going to be kicked off immediately. At the end of the day, Jon knows what's going to take away his money, and he's not going to let that happen.
Of course, yeah. I'll say, like, it was just very ridiculous on both sides, I'd say. I thought Jon was going to win the boxing match single-handedly. I thought Jimmy was maybe going to die. I thought he was going to straight up kill Jimmy.
Yeah, same,
so
honestly.
I won't lie. So, like, I honestly was trying to help Jimmy out a little bit, even though he definitely initiated all of it in the wrong for the most part. I was trying to help Jimmy out because, like,
you knew Jon was working out the whole time. You and Jon had a weight goal, so you knew his preparation, whereas you knew Jimmy probably wasn't doing as much prep as Jon.
Yeah. I wanted the fight to be fair. I knew Jimmy had a disadvantage, so I was helping Jimmy out. And I also was like kind of placing bets on, because everybody was like, oh, Jimmy's gonna lose. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna put my money on Jimmy then, you know, just to be the one.
Yeah,
you know?
oh yeah, the little odds right there. But he kept composed though. I'm glad that he didn't, you know, have a freak out during the fight. He
did. The way the fight started, it was definitely initiated by him. Like, that was all a bad look for him. But the actual fight itself was not a bad look at all. Like, he did compose himself. He didn't do anything crazy. I think he did pretty decent. I think if it was headshots, I don't know what would have happened. But
do you think Jon would have taken it if it was headshots?
Probably. Yeah. It's hard to deny. Yeah. Yeah, but those weren't the rules, you know. Right. It's like, you never know. Maybe
we'll find out. Up to poll at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, that is true. So if people were soured on Jon, they weren't gonna let him win, that type of stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff bubbling from underneath with both of them. And I know that Jon, just from before the season started, he was telling me, I know exactly how to manipulate Jimmy and stuff like that. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. Like, I think he kind of treated Jimmy as a subordinate. And Jimmy definitely does not take kindly to that. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that built up to all that. But yeah, it was I was hoping for a little more fireworks in the fight, I'll be honest.
Same. Yeah, it was a lot of standing around.
Yeah, but also I don't want to see them actually get hurt.
Right.
So it is what it is.
Did you think out of all the things they threw at Jon, out of all the things on season 2.5, did you think it would have been the Sylvia makeup that would have taken him out the game out of all the things?
Kinda. I kind of figured it would just be some gay shit or like some rule that he didn't agree with that would take him out. I knew whoever he's fighting with, whatever contestant is there that he doesn't like, you know, whatever challenge he loses or something like that, like, he'd be fine with. But if it was some gay shit, or like if he wasn't allowed to do something he wanted to do or something like that, I knew that would be the downfall. When the wolves were coming in and were being handsy with him, I thought he was going to quit then.
Yeah, me too. But he had fun with it, thankfully.
Yeah. Or I figured he would hit somebody that was doing something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I kind of figured those were the only things that were like his limits.
We had you versus the Goblin, Soda Man versus the Merchant, Taylor versus Creature, Justice the Chef versus Oddbod, and of course the unforgettable Xavier versus Ty, which was hard to watch sometimes, but I love them both. What were your thoughts on that whole reign of fists?
Yeah, the boxing tournament. So my match with the Goblin, I don't even remember saying I want to box him, but I'm sure I did at some point, and he remembered that and was like, now's the time. So I was like, okay, let's do it. That was my first time, other than like fighting Greg and Shinji, which was kind of more sparring. That was the first time where I was like, okay, I need to take this real serious, because I knew he was like a football player, athlete. Like, I needed to lock in there. He definitely hit me way more, but I felt like I was pretty good at finding openings and like striking when I thought there was like a chance. He conceded. I don't know if he was just like being a good sport or whatever.
Maybe
I was just as gassed as he was though. And he definitely hit me very hard, and if it was headshots, I probably would have lost. But it was really fun. It was really fun.
It was a very honorable match.
Yeah, no, he definitely, like, in a regular match, I would have lost. But on Fishtank, you know,
we'll never know until we see, you know, Goblin and Vance round 2. Might just have to happen.
Yeah. Oddbod is, so I'll be real. I had heard stuff about Oddbod and how he's just like a rabid fan that wants to get on. I expected him to be a freak. When he got there, he was actually very normal. I was like, there's no way this is the same dude. And he had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed his presence. And yeah, he put the wolf suit on, then put the gloves on. And I don't know if he's an athlete. I would assume he's not. If he is, I'm sorry. Like, I would just assume he isn't used to fighting people or anything like that. But he held his own against somebody that I felt like, you know, probably was an athlete. And yeah, that was a crazy fight. There was one point I remember where Justice puts his gloves down and he's just letting Oddbod hit him in the face repeatedly. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, because he said, he was like, come on, get you some in.
I also want to say the Creature and Taylor fight. Everybody could see Taylor training with Scott throughout the whole season. Creature, as far as I know, never did that. I think she also said she played softball though, which comes back to, like, there's a lot of weird skills you get from playing baseball and softball. I didn't interact with her much before the cell, but that fight, she really, really impressed me, actually. Yeah, immediately is thrown into a boxing match against somebody who has been training the entire time, getting more sleep than she has, eating a little more properly. Probably, I don't know.
Sleeping in a bed.
Yeah, in a bed. I thought that Creature, or Mary, I don't know why I'm still calling her Creature, but I thought that she was at a massive disadvantage and still was pretty dead even. And then immediately went back into the cell, puking her guts out, and still played out the rest of the challenge until she could not.
Because Letty took the W on that one.
Because it's Letty, and she's, you know, she's just the greatest fish tank competitor of all time, probably, you know.
Bro, what I mean? Letty, when it comes to mental manipulation, when it comes to the crazy tasks that y'all are given, and it's like, all right, who's down for this? She's always down to do them. And gaslighting, holy shit.
Is probably, yeah, if she's not the best, she's up there. I was very, very impressed by Mary because she went up against Letty and Taylor, like got beat up by Taylor a little bit and still almost beat Letty. I thought that was crazy. I thought she proved herself a lot and earned a lot of respect in my eyes when I wasn't paying much attention to her before. I was like, damn, like that's fucking crazy that you just did all that. My interactions with fans have been very, very positive. I've met a lot of fans in real life, actually. They come to my shows, you know, if they live in the area, like I've just ran into people that are like, I know you from Fishtank. They're always very cool, always super down to earth, chill people. I think it's different when it comes to people who are fans of the show, specifically to watch the women. I think maybe Cryo, maybe is in it for the wrong reasons or in it for, you know, different reasons than most of the fan base. I don't know for sure, but I don't know. He's a supporter of the show, though. He's a fan of the show, but I've seen and heard some things from the women involved in the show specifically that are not so great.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Certain Discord chats and whatnot that he had of kind of vulgar remarks of how he would approach meeting certain female contestants. Yeah. If we could put it so lightly like that.
So I think it's always a hit or miss whether someone is going to be crazy stalker or just going to be a chill random fan of the show. And they had two pretty rabid fans, I'd say. Come on. One ended up being one of those categories and the other was the other category.
Do you feel like maybe some people watch the show and think, I want to be on that show, but forget that if you want to be on Fishtank, you have to produce content. You have to be some form of entertainer. You have to do things. You can't just be that same viewer who is watching it at home, comfortable, just watching a screen and pressing TTS and stuff.
Yeah, and be willing to be subject to a little bit of psychological torture or, you know, just shit like that. I do think people don't realize that. They don't realize, like, you're going to be put on the spot. You're going to be judged harshly. This is not necessarily a super fun time. This is not a vacation. With 2.5, it was a little different. Maybe for 2.5, people thought, oh, this is fun, maybe because we weren't being pushed too hard. But also we weren't being pushed too hard because we were returning contestants that have a rapport with production, and it's like production is not going to like burn that bridge with you and fuck you up too hard after you've already been through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
For regular seasons, especially, people don't realize like, okay, we're bringing you on, well, what do you have to offer? And and you're gonna be pushed hard, and you're gonna be subject to a lot of things you don't want to be subject to.
There's good and bad to it, and it's work that you got to put in. It's not just all fucking fun and games and shit. That's for sure.
Exactly.
You said numerous times, even on the show, at night, when everybody was just around the fire, which were some of my favorite times too. You would be like, man, I'm having a great time out here. Just, you know, we get to camp and just chilling around the fire with each other.
2.5 was a good time the whole time.
Hell yeah.
And I think that reflected on the audience. And I think people kind of realize how much they do like friend tank, you know, or how much they do appreciate when it's like not so dark.
Yeah, everybody just being human and being relatable and communicating with each other. Were there things that you learned about your fellow fish that you had not known before?
I'd say for Jimmy and Taylor, I didn't know them too well before this. And I said this before, but like on season 2, I kind of distanced myself from the fish during the season because I wanted to be able to do my job well, not get too attached. After the season was over, I didn't have that same, you know, rule for myself, but I still didn't get to know them that well. And there was definitely like, you know, there's a reason Jimmy didn't trust me going into 2.5. There's a reason I don't think Taylor trusts me going into 2.5 either. But I got to know them during the season, and I appreciated that a lot. For the rest of the cast, like I think I got to know Ty personally more as well. On season 1, we weren't like enemies, but we still, like, he was a freeloader, I was a fish. There was always that kind of like, okay, I don't know if I have to take you out.
Yeah, he was meant to hassle y'all at that point.
Yeah, I knew we were not allies on season 1. For season 2, it was like a production kind of professional thing. This was the first time I got to hang out with him on just like a friendly level, and I loved it. Like he's the best. He's super funny, super fun to hang out with.
I'm just convinced Ty can get along with any type of person.
Yeah. With Jon, I knew Jon like pretty well. I kind of figured. I think I talked to Jon the least actually this time, just because I knew him so well already, which maybe was also a mistake. I think that kind of contributed to me killing him on the show. And Letty, I was very hesitant of Letty on season 1, but at the same time, you know, I still felt like we were friends. Season 2, like she would be around a little, like we were in the same area. I hung out with her for the first time on like, you know, outside of the show on season 2, and you know, we got to be pretty good friends too. And then during this, I felt like that was strengthened a little bit. But yeah, it was good. It was good to hang out with her with like in sort of a no pressure situation. Like I'm trying to beat you here kind of situation. Yeah. What I think benefited Letty a lot this time is that she didn't feel like she had to be as cutthroat. She could kind of be herself and kind of be friendly with everybody. And not to say that she wasn't trying to do that in season 1, but everybody on season 1 was very like focused on winning, and everybody kind of felt like she was in the way of that. So that contributed to a lot of the interactions. But this time it was more like, you know, it's lighthearted. We can just be ourselves. We can chill out. And I think she benefited from that a lot, and people could see that she's not like some cold-hearted person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's just a like chill chick playing the game.
Yeah, just she's playing the game.
What were your favorite fish toys that helped you cope? I know the alcohol deliveries was quite a new thing where they would just pour it up in your mouths.
That was actually my idea, the alcohol delivery.
Hell yeah.
Because I don't smoke cigarettes, but like, so the thing is, when you get a cigarette delivery, it actually elevates your mood quite a bit. Just knowing that somebody is like, let's help this dude out. But I don't smoke. I was smoking them on the show.
Did you develop some kind of slight habit or addiction?
Well, I am vaping now.
They got you.
Yeah. It's not too bad, but I am vaping now. I was before, but like now it's a little bit more. The deliveries, whatever it is, it helps you out. It elevates your mood as a contestant. And I was like, well, I don't really smoke. I don't necessarily enjoy cigarettes. And I think on camera, I was just like, let's get an alcohol delivery. You know, I like to drink. I know that makes me be more entertaining. I know that helps me be funny.
Helps everybody.
Yeah, they did add it eventually, and I was like, fuck yeah, like that. So that was my favorite fish toy.
Did you expect or plan whatsoever your epic death scene? That was Kino, man. That was cinema right there.
I did know it was gonna happen. I had a feeling. I just had a feeling. The whole day I had a feeling. They had Taylor die the night before. And I think Jet said after she died that somebody else is going to die too. Unless I'm mixing up the timeline here, but I'm pretty sure he said one of you is next as well. And I was like, I think it's me.
Thoughts started creeping up, huh? You just kind of knew?
Yeah, the whole day, like during the Taylor funeral and everything that was leading up to it, I was just thinking, like, I was just like, shit, I'm pretty damn sure I'm going to die here. And then they had me go into they said, we're going to defend the shrine. And then they were like, everybody else is going to be in the arena. And I was like, okay, I'm going to die. And I whispered to Mike when he was telling me, like, you know, here's the battle, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, am I going to die? And he was like, yeah. Okay.
Fate was decided.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I know what to do.
Damn it, Susan, you bitch. You made that happen.
Yeah. I tried to make it as funny as I could. Yeah, it was a cool moment. I'm glad I got to have that.
Yeah, that was an epic cutscene for sure. Speaking of which, you had your epic cutscene with Xavier.
Oh yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah, over in Schitty. Yeah, how fun was that, man? That definitely.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I just need a push sometimes, you know. I can deliver.
Like when you did your you sang the Neon Genesis Evangelion theme song.
That was the first time I had ever heard that, but I knew the chorus was a little recognizable, but that was the first time I ever like heard that whole song. And then the blacksmith's wife comes up and sings it like an angel.
Yeah, yeah, she sounded like, oh man, she turned into a Japanese woman there.
Yeah, exactly.
She channeled her inner anime.
I don't know how long that lasted, but that whole kind of segment, like 2-hour segment or whatever it was fun, and it kind of got me a little more comfortable out of my shell a little bit.
Did you know or expect Fishtank to turn into a 24/7 live stream show right after this? Like that it would just be on all the time?
Being on the production side, I did know. I knew they were going to extend it, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to be around for it. I wish I was there right now. I really want to be there right now. The scheduling wise, I can't.
You want to be up in BitchTank?
I do. Dude, for the first time, I'm like watching the show as much as I can. It's mostly through clips. You know, after the day's done at like midnight or whatever, I'll turn it on and I'll send some TTS here and there, send a fish toy or whatever. It's so much fun. But at the same time, I wish I was there. I wish I was there.
What are your thoughts on BitchTank, man? Is there anyone you expected to be up in there or anybody you didn't expect that is on there?
I love BitchTank. It's such a funny idea. I love Abby. Abby is a friend of mine. She was the only like contestant on season 2 that I got to know on a personal level. I talked to her a lot actually on that season, and everybody has given me shit for saying that she's one of my favorite contestants. I think this time I think she's proving people wrong this time. I think she's kind of turning people around because like she puts up this front on camera, but she's very sweet. She's very nice. Like, and she's able to provide, like, she can be mean and provide content if she has to.
Yeah, she can gaslight. I've learned that watching her in BitchTank. She can fucking gaslight.
Yeah, I mean, she was involved in probably the most memorable moment of season 2. Yeah, Abby. I'm rooting for Abby a lot. Juliana is a friend of mine. I honestly have not seen what she's done yet. I just haven't been able to watch the live streams, and I haven't seen many clips of her. From what I've seen, every time I'm tuning in, Claire is hilarious. It's because she's shit-faced.
Yeah,
and like
she's coming out of her shell with that alcohol.
Yeah, and she's a little bit of a mess or whatever, but she's so funny. That's what
works on Fishtank.
Yeah, so those are the 3 that I'm kind of like keeping my eye on a little bit.
Shotty's pretty fucking funny too, man. She keeps the talking going.
Yeah, Shotty's really good. She reminds me of one of my friends from home. She's great. I don't know. I haven't seen much of. I've seen a little bit of Haley.
She's got a simp army.
Yeah, I think she's kind of like I think she is like a stereotypical like bitch for the bitch tank kind of thing, maybe. From what I've seen, which is very limited. But every time I tune in, I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm rooting for Abby and Juliana. But Claire is growing on me a lot. I think she's really funny.
After your experience on season 2.5, are there any themes that you would like to see in maybe future seasons or half seasons? Like how they had the RPG aspect?
Yeah, I would say for 0.5 seasons, I really like the serial killer kind of theme that we talked about earlier. Especially if it's like another camping thing, like, you know, once every few days, the killer comes and takes whatever contestant out. I think with other shows like Survivor, for example, they base their themes off of archetypes of the contestants. Like, here there's like heroes versus villains, you know, like that would be like the Lettys versus the Shinjis or the TJ, for example. That might be an interesting thing to try. I don't know if it's necessary. It might not work for Fishtank because there's the team element in Fishtank hasn't really been done yet.
Kind of like an actual reality show where you have them sit around the house for maybe certain challenges, or like prepping them, because that's their rest time, their eat time, their drama and talk time. Then go outside and have some kind of obstacle or challenge for them, you know? And then when they're all fucking tired out, the challenge is over, they go back in, just like a real reality show. Even those cooking shows, you know how they're done with the challenge, then they go back to their dorm and they're all tired, they get to drinking, and then there's inevitably more drama and shit like that happening.
Right.
Because they're mad about the challenge, like
a separate challenge arena kind of thing.
Yeah,
I like that idea. Yeah, that's also why I think like the teams element. There's a lot of drama to be had when it comes to teams, like you're saying, Jimmy, you know, going off on Taylor or whatever because they lost a challenge. I think if there's deadlocked teams from the jump, that might be very interesting. Mm-hmm. And then you can have teams based off of contestant archetypes, like, okay, we have the nerds versus the jocks or whatever the fuck it is. Like,
hell yeah,
it could be anything.
Take the strongest from each group to do that certain challenge.
Yeah. And yeah, I think like you know, you can divide teams up in the middle of the show if things aren't working out. Like,
yeah, sneaky switches.
There's a lot of possibilities when it comes to teams, and you can kind of base the theme of the season off of that. That's what Survivor does, like basically every time.
Yeah,
they'll do like men versus women. They'll do smart people versus dumb people. You know, there's a Survivor season, I shit you not. This was like early 2000s, maybe. Probably, yeah, early 2000s. They divided up all the tribes by race.
No shit.
Yeah, that's real. Shit. That is real.
Oh, I'm YouTubing that tonight. Oh, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
That is, I think that one is Cook Island, maybe. I think it's called Cook Islands.
Who can live out in the humid, hot jungles more? These suburban little white, or
no, no surprise they never did that theme again. But they tried it.
But no, I can't believe they did a fucking race thing with a Survivor. Holy shit. The way network TV has definitely come a long way, right? Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Because of your experience in 2.5, if there's ever an apocalypse, which there won't be, but in this scenario, if there is, where's the first place you would hunker down, and who would you want in your survival team? Or even fish contestants? Huh?
Where would I hunker down? I have no idea. I haven't put much thought into that. But if I need to survive, I'm taking Taylor.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and Ty.
I was just gonna say Ty would keep morale up with his jokes and shit and his one-liners.
And I'm sticking to people that are on Fishtank so that the viewers will know, but also yeah. Greg would be essential too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Greg's got muscle and he can definitely get some shit done if he's told, for sure. Hell yeah.
I think Sylvia.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, Sylvia, yeah. I can tell Sylvia has already gotten down her zombie survival tactics already. She probably has like books about it. She probably has a plan already implemented.
Yeah, I would also take Josie.
Really?
If I'm taking a team of 6, that's probably my team.
Hell yeah, Josie, because when need be, she'll probably swing a sword?
It's because she can do anything and be good at it. Yeah, if she was on 2.5, like we would have never lost anything.
Man, I know that sucks.
Not to discredit my team at all. Like my team was very good, but Josie's just good at everything. So I'd want her on the team, you know.
I know you can do John. Are there any other fish that you can do impressions of?
I don't know. I've wanted to do a Jimmy impression. I don't think I can do it very well. I don't know if I can do it right now. I'll try to do a Jimmy. Let me take a hit of the vape, get my voice a little deeper. But no, it's just like, I don't know if I can do it. He always starts with, but nah, it's just like, and then, or he'll go like, nah, but on some real shit. And it's usually after taking a hit of a cigarette or something. But nah, it's like on some real shit. Just like the first 2 episodes of Teletubbies were way better than the next 7. And I just, you know, people love the next 7 of them, but really the first 2 is where it all kind of started. And it after season 3, when X, Y, and Z lost the reins and gave in to Z, Y, and X, just kind of fell apart, and I just really didn't see what Tinky Winky's whole purpose was after that.
First off, you stupid fucking you didn't even fucking talk about the Russian government.
Yeah, true, the Russian government. How could I forget about the Russian government?
The thing is, no, I can't get hard on camera because I'm not gonna fuck a girl on camera, okay? So I'm not gonna fucking do that, alright?
No, but it's like on some real shit. I'm just not a homewrecker, so I'm just not gonna do anything. On some real shit, like I've been saying, it's just I'm not a homewrecker, and I'm just not gonna do anything like that. But I would, but like I'm just not going to.
You know, you just gotta talk to him like a person, and you know, just fucking, you know, well, no homo. I mean,
no homo, but all you gotta do is talk to him like a person, and basically, and all. Oh shit, he does this one thing. When he gets mad, when he starts to yell, he'll be like, and you can tell everything he's feeling on his face. Like his face will like kind of sink.
Yeah, it's his 1,000-yard stare. You're like way better because you've been around him in person, so you're way better at this shit.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that good at it. On some real shit, it's just like I think I fucked up this time, and you know the whole thing with Creature. Like, I hope you know, I wasn't actually mad about the thing with Creature. I did want to. You know, I was hoping we'd kiss and get married, but, you know, whatever.
Oh, man, spot fucking on, bro. Spot fucking on. Oh, my God. Child. Yeah, you stupid fuck. Yo, wait, whoa. Do that again?
Great job. Yeah, real funny bit.
The tone is uncanny.
Okay, I'm getting wood, and then Creature comes in, and then Vance comes in, and he's fucking trying to nag me or nag her or whatever. Yeah, great fucking bit. Real funny.
That's the thing, is a lot of the shit, to sound like Jimmy, you have to say fucked up shit. That's like how you channel your inner Jimmy. It's so fucked up. Well, obviously, Abby fucking, if she wanted to fucking win, she would have fucking won, and she wouldn't have grabbed the fucking hammer and slammed the fucking phone. So the stupid bitch fucking lost. You stupid fucking.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Here, I'm gonna do a John one.
Yeah, go for it.
You guys, what's going on? I'm here for Ben Organ. You guys vote for me. Business Jack 2022. My favorite was when he said Quicho. Can I?
Yeah.
Quicho.
Yeah.
How would you feel about kissing me, Quicho?
I'll give you a little tip for the John impression. He doesn't actually slur his L's. Or wait, no. Yeah, he doesn't slur. Fuck. Is it his R's?
I'll say Letty, right? Letty. Letty.
Yeah. He doesn't slur his L's. He slurs his R's, but not his L's. He will occasionally have like a slight slur or lisp with the L's if it's in the middle of a word or whatever. But for the most part, if the word starts with L, he won't. So he will say, for Letty, he goes, it's almost like he's saying lady, you know, like he kind of, lady. Yeah. Quicho, would you kiss me in front of Jimmy?
in front of Jimmy.
Lady, do you care if Quicho kisses me in front of Jimmy?
When he sluts these bitches, go ahead and see in my fucking face, bitch.
I need to get like the loud John down better. I'm good at like quiet John though. The other thing, when I'm talking to John, it's usually like a quiet conversation or whatever. Yeah, Ty. Ty's another good. I haven't even begun to like try or attempt a Ty impression, but those are usually pretty good.
Ty's so cool because it's like, I just chill. Vance, he pretty nice. Yeah, he cool on the show.
I hate the guy, man.
I walk in, and my dad, he fucking a flashlight, and you know when you got the power over your dad, and like your dad had power, and now you have like the power over him. Because he, instead of over, he says over, and I love that.
That's really good. That's actually really good. Power over him.
You got power over him. I think Jimmy is the most valuable, cause he cook for everybody. Letty, I think Letty, she go gaslighting.
Man, yeah, that's really good. That's pretty spot on. I hate the goblin, but I really like killing a vampire with my gun. I'm trying.
That's great, bro.
And Donye is black and is very loud. ChatGPT wrote this square.
I'm gonna give Soda Man a try too, because he was so fucking funny.
Well, I'm not selling them to you, John, because you're annoying. Just drink Zip. It's invigorating. I don't care, John. Get away from me, John. Shut up. Just stop being a pussy and maybe stop being so gay, John.
He has a slight lisp, but it's not like strong.
Yeah,
and I know it decreases when he's out of character.
I won't attempt a Soda Man yet. I gotta study him a little more.
A goblin. Yes, goblin. Goblin knows this. Goblin's coming for you.
Because that's my best goblin.
Probably as good as it can get.
This is mine. I want this. I want this. Goblin just wants a friend.
And he made one.
I think Vance and the Goblin are now friends.
Oh man, see that's spot on too. Fucking Jet is insane at his impressions of the fish, but I know he's like watched everybody for like an insane amount of time.
He's watching them all the time, so
yeah. I don't know if I could even do a Jet. So basically what we need you to do is you're off the show. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. I'm like, I don't know Jet.
Kind of like this. So this is the shit your pants challenge, and basically the first one to shit your pants wins. So on the shit your pants challenge, it's like the first one to shit your pants basically wins. Go. I think I'm confused. I think my Jet impression is including too much Ben.
Basically, you guys aren't really pushing content, alright?
Kind of walking up in the challenges right now, so maybe just like do a little better. It's kind of like a Blink-182 kind of inflection a little bit.
Yeah, like a screamo kind of voice. He's almost got that thing like this.
I gotta think. I'm on the spot right now.
Hey, same, because I haven't really tried practicing him much. But hey man, I do appreciate you being on the podcast, Vance. Before we go, is there anybody you want to shout out or anything you want to plug or promote or anything new that you got going on, or even if it's in the works?
Shout out to the entire crew that gave me the opportunity once again to be on Fishtank. It's been the time of my life. John, Letty, Jimmy, Taylor, Ty, love you all. It was a blast. And Mary and Greg as well. Everybody that was involved, all the NPCs, all the crew members, all the contestants. Love you all. It was a blast. Watch season 2.75, whatever it is now. Shout out to Abby, shout out to Juliana. Those are the homies. But watch the show. It's a ton of fun. Shout out friends and family. Shout out anybody that's watched a stream I've done, a video I've made, listened to a song I've done, come out to a show, anything like that. Shout out to all of you. I got more music coming out soon. I have a covers album coming out, a covers EP coming out before the year ends, and then probably another album in 2025. Well, definitely an album in 2025, but I don't know when yet. But yeah, covers, EP first, then an album in terms of music. Watch season 3. Watch everything involved with Fishtank. Watch it all. Consume.
Watch Fishtank.live. It's a 24/7 live stream reality show completely full of madness, full of surprises, full of comedy. Everybody can find something they love in it.
Absolutely. It's a great show. The show has changed my life in the best way. For my life, Fishtank has, I've said it time and time again, but it's given me tremendous opportunities. I don't exactly know what I've done to deserve them, but I appreciate them a lot, and I hope I'm making the most of them. Everybody involved in the show, it's like another family to me. It's like a second family. Everybody involved is amazing. The whole cast is amazing. The crew's amazing. It's the time of my life. I'm grateful to be a part of it. It sucks I can't be on the current installment. I want to be on BitchTank.
You never know.
Yeah, I wish I could be there now, but you should still watch it. I'm watching it whenever I can. It's a good show. It's brought a lot to a lot of people. Just thank you everyone that's watching it, watching me, like keeping up with me or whatever. Like, I appreciate you a ton.
Definitely some great words from our man Vance Latta. Y'all be sure to check him out. Check out his album on iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp, and that's love in its purest form. So check out his album, check out his social media, check out him on Twitter, he's on YouTube, and of course, he's been on multiple seasons, every season now of Fishtank Live, Fishtank.live. Check out Vance, support him because this man deserves it and he works hard for every single bit of success that he's had. I definitely look forward to more projects that you'll be on, Vance. Thank you so much for hopping on the podcast again. It's always a pleasure to have you on here, always a pleasure to talk.
I don't do many interviews, like I really don't. But, you know, you asked me after season 1, I agreed. It was a great time. Then we did season 2, and I was like, of course, as long as you want to keep doing them, I'm open to doing them. I like doing these. It's a good environment, and I don't do many of them. So take pride in that. Like you do a great job with these, and it's a good time always.
I'm really honored to hear that, man. Thank you so much. And I always try to make it a good time for everyone. Honestly, man, it doesn't even feel like interviews or anything like that. That's why I said if you just want to hop on the podcast, because it just feels like we're just, you know, powwowing or whatever.
And that's exactly why I like it. It doesn't feel like an interview. It's like just kind of chill. And I'm not fishing for compliments either. I'm just saying you're a great host. You're a great host, man, and it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Appreciate that, man. For real, I really do. But hey, thanks so much, man. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you nothing but happiness. And bro, I'm looking forward to seeing you in season 3. At this point, he is an invaluable team member and a pivotal part of what Fishtank is now. We're definitely gonna keep tuning in, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Take it easy, brother.
You too. Peace. Thank you.